Tonight, embattled Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg finally speaking out on Facebook, saying we have a responsibility to protect your data, and if we can't, then we don't deserve to serve you. Adding, we also made mistakes. There's more to do, and we need to step up and do it. Zuckerberg acknowledging a breach of trust between Facebook and the people who share their data with us and expect us to protect it. We need to fix that. He admits Facebook knew that Cambridge Analytica had inappropriately obtained information on 50 million users, but took them at their word that they had deleted it. He promises Facebook will audit any app with suspicious activity and ban them and tell everyone affected if they misused personal information. Facebook will also reduce the amount of data made available to other companies to just your name, profile photo, and email. And show everyone a tool at the top of your newsfeed with the apps you've used and an easy way to revoke those apps' permissions to your data.
Facebook has traditionally had these scandals break and then waited until they figured out what they're going to do before they've responded.
Zuckerberg's response comes as his company faces 2 new class action lawsuits. One from users accusing Facebook of absolute disregard amid the unauthorized collection of personal information through Cambridge Analytica. And another from investors for materially false and misleading statements that led to a $50 billion decline in company stock earlier this week. As Zuckerberg tries to do damage control, some users are fleeing. WhatsApp co-founder Brian Acton, who sold the messaging service to Facebook for $16 billion 4 years ago, also walking away, saying it's time. #delete Facebook. But fully deleting your Facebook account is not so easy. Facebook requires users to submit a request using a computer, and it can take up to 90 days for your profile to be deleted.
Facebook employees inside headquarters behind me tell me the mood has been disillusioned and somber. Some take great responsibility in protecting your personal data. And one person says that Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg's statement today is incomplete.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.